Welcome back. This is Mrs. RRubright, and today's lesson is 8.2, Use Properties of Parallelograms. So once again, this is Advanced Geometry, and today is 8.2, Use Properties of Parallelograms. We already copied the notes into our notebooks from pages 509, 510, and 511. Use Properties of Parallelograms. Find the values of x and y. A, B, C, D is a parallelogram by the definition of a parallelogram. Use Theorem 8.3 to find the value of x. What is Theorem 8.3, guys? What did you copy down? Theorem 8.3. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its opposite sides are congruent. So opposite sides are congruent. That means that x plus 4 is equal to 12. That means that side AD is equal to side BC. All right? So if x plus 4 equals 12, then x must be 8. They wanted us to find the value of x. X is 8. They didn't mention, oh, they did say to find y as well. Okay, so what else do we know about parallelograms? We know that the opposite angles are congruent. All right, so opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are congruent. So your y is congruent to 65. Angle D is congruent to angle B. Can you guys see that this one is your obtuse angle? Your obtuse angle goes with the obtuse angle. Your acute angle goes with the acute angle. Okay? Find FG and the measure of angle G. FG and the measure of angle G. Okay, well, FG is going to be congruent to HE, so it's 8. And angle G is congruent to angle E, so it's 60 degrees. Another fun fact about this stuff, guys, we know from our last lesson that quadrilaterals add to 360, right? 180 times 2, which is 360, because this can be cut into two equal triangles, right? Two triangles that add up to 180 each. So if the sum of interior angles equals 360, 360 minus this 120 leaves us with what? 240. 240 divided by two equal angles is 120 each. So here's your next little fact. Your same side insides or consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Consecutive interior angles are supplementary. These two better add to 180. Do you guys remember when we did our parallel lines with cut by a transversal and we had our consecutive interior angles and we said they were supplementary? Do you see that nice relationship there? How all of this comes together. Find the values of x and y. All right, well, right here, these two are opposite sides are congruent. So 18 equals what plus 3? So you subtract, if you set this into an equation, if you subtract 3 from both sides, 15 equals y. So 15 plus 3 is 18. 18 equals 18. So that's that. And then opposite angles are congruent. So 2x equals 50, making x 25. So we have our y is 15 and our x is 25. As shown, part of the extending arm of a desk lamp is a parallelogram. The angles of the parallelogram change as the lamp is raised and lowered. Find the measure of angle BCD when the measure of angle ADC is 110. ADC, so this angle right here is 110, and they want to know the measure of angle BCD, this angle right here. And they said that it's a parallelogram, so these are consecutive interior angles. Consecutive interior angles must be supplementary. 180 minus 110 leaves us with 70. The diagonals of quadrilateral LMNO, or parallelogram LMNO, intersect at point P. What are the coordinates of P? So what do we know about the diagonals of a parallelogram? Did you guys copy something in your notebooks about the diagonals of the parallelogram? I know you did. What did it say about the diagonals of a parallelogram? They bisect each other, meaning that this and this are equal. LP is congruent to PN. OP is congruent to PM. So if they're bisected, they cut them into two equal parts. So P is technically the midpoint of LN and the midpoint of OM. All right, well, let's think about this. If it's the midpoint, it's half the distance to M, right? So look, if we're rising 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to M, instead of rising 4, you rise 2. Instead of running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you run half, 3 1/2. So up to over 1, 2, 3 1/2. So this would be 3.5, 2. Or you could literally just take these coordinates, 0, 0, and 7, 4, and you just put them into the midpoint formula. Add your x's, divide by 2. Add your y's, divide by 2. 7 plus 0 is 7, divided by 2 is 3 1/2. 4 plus 0 is 4, divided by 2 is 2, and that is your midpoint, the coordinates that we are looking for. So 7/2, 2. Find the indicated measure in parallelogram JKLM. All right, so if we're looking, instead of looking at what they're asking for, why don't we just fill in everything we know? So if this is 110, then this up here is 110. Its consecutive interior angles are supplementary, so if this is 110, this is 70. If the whole thing is 70 and this part is 30, 70 minus 30 is 40. We have alternate interior angles, so if this is 30, alternate interior with here, making this part 40, alternate interior, right? What else do we know? Well, if this is 110 and this is 40, whoops. This is 110 and this is 40 and this is a triangle. Triangles add up to 180. 180 minus 110 is 70, minus 40, 30. Linear pairs are supplementary. 180 minus 30, 150. This is 150, 180. What did I screw up? Where?
Because 110 is for the whole angle.
Yeah. Oh, got it. No, that's still not it. 110 plus 40, 150, 60, 70, 80, 180. That's that big triangle. It's this 50 that's bothering me. Oh, that's why. You are right. You're talking about the other 110. See, guys, we figured out that there was something that wasn't adding up, and it was because we counted 110, 40, and this angle here, and this 110 is this whole portion, so we weren't able to solve for right here, and that was the only error that we actually have right here. We actually can't solve for this right now. All right, so NM, where's NM? NM is right here. If this is 2, this is 2 because it's bisected. The measure of JML, JML, 70. KM, the whole thing. If they're 2 each, then it adds to 4. If each half is 2, the whole thing is 4. KML, KML, 40. And be very careful and realize that there are multiple ways of doing this, and you can just use all that you know about triangles and shapes to be able to fill everything in. And if something doesn't add up, locate where you went wrong. That is everything for today's lesson on 8.2, Use Properties of Parallelograms. If you enjoyed today's lesson, stay tuned for 8.3. Subscribe to our channel. Have a great day.